Should we read for Aquarius? So this live is going to be an elemental reading. So we're going to touch on every single sign. I hope you guys like the music. All right. So comment your element if we want to start this reading. Should we start with air signs? We got swords on the bottom. You might want to start the air signs. Someone said earth. So let's do earth then. Let's do earth. So this is going to be Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. I'm going to do earth signs 2023. And then we have water. We'll do water afterwards. Earth signs. We have the Hanged Man right off the bat. So you guys are probably getting bored. I feel like this is feeling like nothing is moving forward. Earth signs, I feel like this is talking about practicing intentional surrender. And then we'll do air. Okay, we'll do air. We'll do earth, water, air. And then we'll do fire. So we're still on earth signs. Look at this, the Hanged Man and 8 of Wands. This is like nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden we have all this fast movement forward. All of a sudden, shit starts moving fast. Who's this? This is going to be earth signs. This is going to be earth signs. So some of you earth signs, this is talking about literally travel. This is the Mercury and Sagittarius card. Some of you guys, this is like having to be very blunt right now. Having to just... First step to take to move forward. Exactly. Exactly. I almost feel like earth signs, you guys have been building up energy for a very long time. I almost just feel like all the energy has been internal, and now all of a sudden you're going to be pushing forward externally in your life. But there was a lot of going internal with the Hanged Man. Let's see. Wow, 2 of Wands. Intuitively guiding yourself. Some of you guys could definitely be going somewhere this year. 2 of Wands with 8 of Wands. This could definitely be some kind of airplane. Earth signs, I just feel like you guys are very careful planners. That's what I really get with the Hanged Man of 2 of Wands. Being a very careful planner. I almost just feel like sometimes you guys think that it's better to just do nothing than just to impulsively go into a situation. Like, I think earth signs would rather just do nothing. Wow, some of you guys have been dealing with really shitty people. This is slander. This is gossip. This is crime. This is pettiness. Four of Pentacles. Look at this. I almost just feel like earth signs, even Yeah, some of you guys could just be seeing reality now. Four of Pentacles is like really having to hold close to your chest, really holding close to your money. This to me is like when you're surrounded by people who are just chaos starters, like they thrive off the chaos. It's saying you need to hold close to yourself. You need to not share anything. Don't share your money. Don't share your time. I almost just feel like earth signs, it's kind of saying that like this is like your lifetime, so everything has to be on your time, and you decide what you do with your time. Look at that, Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands. There is a lot of healing. Knight of Rods coming out. This is talking about now taking action. This is talking about now it's time to move faster, earth signs. You got that one reversed. Yeah, Knight of Wands reverse can be about, you know, not being in control of yourself, you know, rushing into things, not thinking about things, you know, taking action and not thinking about it. So Knight of Wands earth sign is saying like it's time to move forward, especially if you're creative, you know, especially you know, Knight of Wands, he's a creative, and it's like it's time to take action on that. Some of you guys need to, like, you know, even get out and drive, you know, just to feel like you're getting about, you're moving around. Like, Knight of Wands to me is like there's a lot of energy here that needs to be exerted somehow, whether it's through a sport, you know, whether it's through running, you know, sweating. You guys just need to move. A lot of movement with the earth signs. Alright, I wanna... Tell me something juicy before we move on. Look at that, Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. So I think with the Jupiter going into Taurus in 2023, like this is going to be a boost for a lot of the earth signs. You know, it's going to trine Capricorn, it's going to trine Virgo, you know, and it's going to conjunct Taurus with Jupiter ingress into Taurus. So a lot of you guys, it's like saying the good fortune's coming back, you know, the security's coming back. You know, you guys are going to be feeling more empowered, more optimistic. You know, things are going to be coming easier to you now. You know, I just get a lot of feeling like, you know, you're suspended in time with the Hanged Man. And now it's like, you know, life keeps moving. Life is unpredictable. Life is a cycle. It's gonna change, even if you resist the change, you know? And earth signs, I think, are you know, especially fixed earth sign. The fixed earth sign is probably the worst at handling change, you know? Virgos are very nomadic, though, so I do feel like Virgos handle change a lot better. And Capricorn initiates changes. So with Capricorn, it's all up to them. You know, Capricorns are either super goal-oriented or they're bums. Like, I think that it's like two extremes with Capricorn, where it's like, you know, whether they have to initiate the change themselves or nothing will ever happen. Think of Capricorn as Knight of Pentacles, like taking very slow steps forward, but still taking action, because it's cardinal earth, you know? And Virgos are changed themselves. Like, I think that Virgos never stay the same. So, you know, Virgo's mutable earth, you know? So earth signs, this is just about, you know, movement, you know, not feeling like you are suspended, like literally in suspension in high school. That's what I get with the Hanged Man. You know? This is practicing surrender to the cycles of life with the Hanged Man and the Wheel of Fortune. So, alright. We're gonna do, I think someone said water. Look at that, Eight of Wands again. Opportunities are coming. We can do yes or no questions maybe after the elementals, guys. I wanted to include more people, though. Alright, so I guess we're going to do water signs. We're going to do water signs. Whoa. Water signs are feeling out of control. All my cards just spilled out. What's going on? We're just reading for the elements right now. We're just reading for the elements. We're gonna do Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Wow, we have the Tower coming out for water signs. What is this Tower about? Look at that, the Tower and King of Pentacles. Water signs, this is like not feeling stable, you know? It's interesting though, because with King of Pentacles, this to me could be just like wealth hitting you out of nowhere. You know, the Tower and King of Pentacles is like, I almost get rags to riches with this. Rags to riches, like Cinderella Man vibes. Water signs, I feel like some of you guys are going to be very luxurious. Like, you guys are bougie with King of Pentacles. But it's like an off-putting kind of bougie. Let's see what this is. Look at that, the Hanged Man for 2 people. Water signs, this to me is like very, very like waiting on financial security, you know? I think that with water signs, you know, they need Earth. Earth is their divine counterpart, you know, with King of Pentacles right there. It's like, you need this kind of energy in your life, you know? You need people who keep you grounded, who keep you practical, you know? King of Pentacles and the Hanged Man is like, sometimes you guys put off thinking about your security, thinking about your money, thinking about insurance, you know, thinking about your health. Sometimes you put these things off, you know. And then the Tower is like, you'll manifest situations where it's like your reality comes crashing and burning, you know what I mean? Because, you know, water signs don't even think of themselves as physical beings, you know. They kind of just think of themselves as like a vessel to feel and a vessel for emotion, you know. So I think that with the Tower and King of Pentacles, you know, some of you guys, you know, once you feel like you get the security you need, you begin to relax, but you may relax a little bit too much, you know? You may relax a little bit too much with your indulgences, with your vices, you know? So let's see. Nothing too much about love so far, though. Nothing about love so far. Water signs I know love to hear about their love lives. Let's see. Look at that, King of Swords. King of Swords, King of Pentacles. This is very interesting. So some of you guys are going to be dealing with 2 different kinds of people next year. You know, this is a lot of having people in your life, especially this is for the feminines, having people in your life who, you know, they'll show you affection by doing things for you, you know, by paying for things, you know, by, you know, cooking, you know, they'll show you love through these very practical manners. And with King of Swords there, though, it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like water signs, like, I feel like you have a lot of people who are very opposite to you, you know, neither King of Swords or King of Pentacles are words of affirmation kind of people, you know, and I do feel like water signs are, you know, they enjoy words of affirmations, you know, but you guys are surrounded by, like, very business-oriented, very strong personalities, you know, I would say water signs, don't let yourself get bossed around next year, you know. I'm almost getting daddy's home with these 2. Yeah, water signs. I almost just feel like you guys look for father-like types. Like, you guys look for, you know, I'm getting daddy issues. This could just be you guys, though. I feel like water signs, you guys are gonna be, like, standing your ground as if you were a man. Like, that's how I kind of feel like it's saying. Like, getting the bag as if you were a man, standing your ground as if you were one. You know, being treated and looked up to as a boss, you know. I think water signs, you know, you guys are just tapping into a more masculinity this year. Which is interesting. I feel like we're getting the Hanged Man. We got the Hanged Man for the Earth signs, too. I feel like it's a 7 year, so, you know, 7 is about surrender, it's about spirituality with the Hanged Man, so a lot of us are going to be dealing with these, you know, the Hanged Man-like situations, scenarios, you know. 7 can be about confusion, illusion, lies, you know, but also connecting to spirit. That's what 7 is about, you know. There's 7 days of creation, 7 archangels, 7 archons. I think water signs, you're going to be a big part of 2023, you know, and this year being ruled by 7. You know, it is about spirituality in a lot of ways and kind of slowing down, you know, and seeing things from a new perspective. Page of Wands, water signs, Page of Wands. I feel like this is saying stay innocent, water signs. I feel like it's saying stay curious about things, stay adventurous about things. You know, if you are creative, it's okay to be, you know, starting with nothing first. It's okay to be, you know, made fun of for maybe looking not professional, maybe looking not very well put together, but you kind of just do stuff because of the impulse, you know, because of the inspiration. Like, I'm feeling water signs, like, you guys get inspired by things. You have to just go with the flow of inspiration. Don't think about it too much. You know, Page of Wands, you know, that's why he's so creative and he's so restless, you know. That's how I kind of feel like it's saying to you guys. So if you guys are an artist, this is very good news with Page of Wands. This is like very new ideas, good ideas coming in. And it's saying just implement them immediately and go with it. You know, don't worry about responses. Don't worry about how it's going to be perceived, you know. And the water element rules creativity in itself. You know what I mean? You know, you guys rule spirituality. You rule creativity, you know. So your intuition, I feel like, is going to be on fire, water signs. You know, I think with the North Node Aries too, this will be, you know, the energy, you know, to now get this out. But yeah, Page of Wands, you know, stay learning, stay a student, stay open-minded. All right, water signs, we're going to do a closing message for you guys. How can we trust more our intuition? I would say that, well, for one, you need to quiet your mind, you know, listen to your body, listen to your stomach. I do feel like working out and actually sweating also helps as well. And that's what the wands are about. Look at that 8 of Wands. Water signs, you're going to have so many opportunities this year. This is like so many people in your ear, so many people in your DMs, you know, so many things moving forward. You know, I feel like a lot of you guys too, if you guys are into education and stuff, this is going to be doing a lot of trips, a lot of going back and forth, you know. This is like, you know, the younger you are, the more opportunities to come. So you guys, I'm just getting like being on speed this year. Like there's something about being on speed. You know? So very exciting, water signs, for the most part. None of this has been about love too, which is crazy. Because water signs, that's what you guys care about the most. Look at that King of Wands. Some of you guys are just creative leaders. That's what it's saying. It's like you're just a creative leader, you know? I think water signs, like, don't be afraid to practice leadership, especially with the North Node going into a fire sign, you know, try to practice leadership, you know, try to practice, you know, communicating better to people with King of Wands. Love will come, exactly. You guys already know that, though. I feel like water signs have no problem manifesting love a lot of the times. I think it's the other elements that struggle more, you know? Yeah, some of you guys, this could be attracting a possible fire sign. So this would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Some of you guys could be dealing with one of those signs. Alright, then we're going to do air. Yeah, King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Stay consistent, stay reliable, stay loyal. You know? You guys always attract Leos, LOL. It's just saying, you know, take your time, but get to it, water signs. Get to it. Get on top of your routines, clean things. Pace yourself. That's what Knight of Pentacles is saying, you know? But a lot of you guys, you know, you guys have mastered creativity. That's what King of Wands is, someone who has mastered creativity. So, you know, I think this is, like, very good news if you're a water sign and you're an artist. Like, I just think that, like, you're going to have many genius ideas this year. But wow, we came from the Tower water signs. So shit came crashing down for you guys. I really feel like this Mars retrograde really could have, you know, you could have felt that, especially if you're a Cancer, you know, this Mars retrograde in your 12th house, you know. But okay, we're gonna move on to another element. I guess that's right, you can't really ever master creativity. That's right in a way. But King of Wands, he would be my, you know, my master artist. You know, that's my King of Wands. You know, the master artist. It is hard. I haven't even mastered my creativity either. I feel like I've had so many creative blocks, actually. Just personally. Untapped potential. Alright, we're moving on. What element should we do, guys? We did water and we did earth. So now we can either do air or fire. Should we do air? Let's do air. Alright. Love you, Rose. Let's do air. Air commented first. Fire's gonna have to wait. Oh wow, 8 of Swords coming out for air signs. Oof. Why have these been reading so heavy today? We have 8 of Swords in the Hanged Man, and then King of Swords. Wow. Look at that. Air signs, you are your own worst enemy. I swear to God. This is saying, like, the more you're in the mind, the more you entrap yourself. Like, air signs, I feel like it's saying your mind is a trap, you know? I heard someone the other day talk about planets and talk about how planet sounds like planned net because, you know, when you come to this planet, you're planning your net, and your net would be your body and your mind. That's kind of what I'm getting with this. It's like, you know, on this planet, your mind can become your net, air signs. Like, you are trapped in it, you know? But then look at that. We have King of Swords, which is the master of thought, the master of his mind, the master communicator. So air signs, I feel like this is a lot of maturity coming from air signs. I do feel like, especially Libra, Gemini, really matures way later in life. And I feel like Aquarius to an extent too. But look at that, with the Hanged Man and King of Swords, this is like you've been waiting so long to master your own mind and to be able to control your thoughts, you know? And to be able to, like, talk to yourself, calm yourself down. You know, air signs, I feel like a lot of you guys deal with anxiety. You guys deal with depression. You guys deal with, you know, overthinking is kind of how I feel. Overstimulation with Eight of Swords. Too many tabs open. Too many things not deleted. Too many pictures not deleted. You know, King of Swords is like detached from it all, air signs. It's saying you're becoming, you know, you are becoming a monk with King of Swords. You know, he is so detached. You know, things do not penetrate him. You know what I mean? Things do not penetrate him. King of Swords too, a lot of you guys could be in very high positions in life with King of Swords coming out. It's like you guys don't even know your full potential yet. You know, you don't know how much power you can have. You know, King of Swords, he's very looked up to for his intellect, you know. So some of you guys could make very good writers, especially I think if you have Saturn in Gemini. You know, those are people born like 2001, 2002. You know, you guys are mastering, you know, writing, speaking. You guys could be excellent writers. It's about really communicating with the seriousness to the point where people will listen. Like you could write a book and people would buy it and people would listen to it. You know what I mean? And you know, if you have Saturn in Gemini too, I don't know why I'm mentioning this, you know, we're going to have Saturn go into Pisces and that will be your Saturn square. So that will really test you, you know, that will really test you if you're Saturn Gemini. But yeah, I think that a lot of you guys, you're slow manifestors. You know, you manifest your reality, you manifest your thoughts, you know, to an extent. I feel like that's true. And the Hanged Man with King of Swords is like, you know, you've been waiting to have control over that. You've been waiting to, you know, learn how to use your mind for magic, you know, and to manifest things, to get things done, you know. But wow, air signs, I don't know. A lot of anxiety and a lot of like, when will this end? Like I like a lot of like, I'm getting claustrophobia, or like if you were locked inside like a coffin. That's kind of what I'm getting. I feel like air signs, you feel like you guys were locked in a coffin for months. You know, especially I think air signs hate winter time too, because air signs enjoy, you know, opening windows. You know, if an air sign's driving in a car, they will open the window. Air signs like to sleep with a fan on, you know what I mean? Air signs need to take walks, you know, and so air signs can really struggle in the cold. You know, if you live in a northern region or something like that, you could really struggle as an air sign, because it's ice cold, you know what I mean? Knight of Swords, he's also ice cold. Yeah, we're gonna do fire, guys. Look at that, 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands. I almost just feel like air signs don't even take shit seriously in 2023. If there's a conflict, if you're fighting with someone, don't even take that shit seriously. You know what I mean? You can't be penetrated. You know, your boundaries are so strong. You can't be messed with. You know what I mean? 5 of Wands, I'm almost getting like shake it off, laugh it off. You know, don't take anything seriously. See it as rough housing. You know what I mean? 5 of Wands is like, yeah, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Like, I feel like you're going to be so, like, to yourself that it's like, you know, you are completely separate. Even if you're surrounded by chaos, even if you're surrounded by people who have drama, who like to fight, who like to compete with each other, who are in competition with each other. It's like, King of Swords is feeling like you don't have to prove nothing. You know what I mean? You don't have to prove nothing. You are already it. You are it. You are the it man. You are the man. All right. Should we do fire signs? Everyone's a Sagittarius. Oh, no. Is that the same person commenting? I was going to say, I feel like we have a lot of Saggies in here. I don't know. Do we have any fire signs in here? I made fire signs wait last. Or do you guys, I don't know. Who is in here? We have an Aries. Do you guys like this style of reading? I've never done this before, and I've never angled the camera this way, but I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. Risings definitely count. Yeah, we can read for the risings too if you guys want. I usually like to end the live and then start a new one so we get more people, you know. We can do fire though, because I don't want to leave people out, you know. I also have this dice. If you guys are into the dice, we can do that too. All right, what wants to come out for the fire signs collective? 3 of Cups. Three of Cups, Page of Wands. Very interesting. I feel like fire signs, you have very adventurous friends. You know, you have friends that you would travel with. You know, you have friends that would, like, you know, go out on the weekend, have fun. You know, I feel like fire signs, you guys are always up for a good time. You know what I mean? Like, you guys can be intimidating because you guys can just keep going sometimes, you know? Not that you're not reflective, because, you know, Page of Wands, he takes everything as a learning experience. So it's saying, you know, learn from socializing, learn from these parties you go to. You know, if you go to the bar, you can meet someone every single day. You can meet someone new that you can learn something from. You know, you can learn everyone in town, is kind of how I feel. 3 of Cups, to me, there's a huge focus on friendships this year. There's a huge focus on living in the present and enjoying yourself, you know. Get out there, fire signs, is kind of how I feel. I don't know. I don't know if you guys would consider fire signs the most extroverted, but I always feel like fire signs handled 2020 the worst, because, you know, the people who couldn't handle lockdown were the people who like to go out, who like to party, who like to socialize, you know what I mean? I don't know if every fire sign is like that, though. Look at that 8 of Swords. Yeah, maybe you guys did feel trapped. I don't know. Maybe you guys did feel a little bit, like, uneasy with 2020 and shit. You know, I don't think fire signs handle doing, you know, sitting well by themselves in their room, in their head. You know, that's when you're going to be in this 8 of Swords energy. You know what I mean? It's almost just like fire signs. I just feel like, you know, you guys need to meet people. You know, you guys need connections. You know, fire needs air. You know, fire needs the wind, you know, to keep them going. So, but I don't know, sometimes you guys feel too trapped within certain friendships, you know. This to me would be like if you guys get involved with a group of friends who, you know, are very you know, they expect you, you know, to show up sometimes. They expect you, you know, to, you know, always be ready, always be down, always be excited. And it's like, you don't even want to have those expectations on you, is kind of how I feel. You know, it's a trap in itself for people to expect you to go out, to socialize, you know, to have fun, to drink with them. This to me is almost just like learn to say no, you know, learn to say no sometimes if you don't want to. You know, Page of Wands is like live free, live nomadically, you know what I mean? Do all these fun, youthful things, you know, but also keep yourself academic, keep yourself studying, you know. Page of Wands, he's very he's like a scholar, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of you guys are in school. That's kind of what I'm getting right off the bat. Some of you guys could definitely be in school right now. Oh. Look at that, the High Priestess for my fire signs. High Priestess. Interesting. I don't know, fire signs. I almost just feel like you're gonna be catering to, you know, I'm almost getting, like, with this, it's like your body's your temple. Treat it like it's sacred. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like a lot of you guys have connections and have, you know, relationships with people, but they're, you know, they didn't grow up. You know what I mean? They didn't grow up, so they're not really going to cater to their bodies like that. They're not going to cater to their mental health. You know, they're not gonna pay attention to their spiritual, to cleansing. You know what I mean? The high priestess is like, you know, make sure that you are cleansing yourself, make sure you are protecting yourself, make sure you are, you know, taking time by yourself, is kind of how I feel. You know, some of you guys could really benefit from being around like Taurus moons. You know, some of you guys could really benefit from being around Cancer-like people, Cancerians. I don't know. I think there's a lot of untapped intuition and untapped psychic ability too, with these cards all coming out. Page of Wands and the High Priestess. This is saying learn from your inner knowing, you know what I mean? So don't even spend time watching too much tarot. Don't spend too much time, you know, listening to other people. This to me is like you'll learn the most by, you know, going within, looking in yourself, you know? It's almost saying like you have the answers, you know? You don't even need to be listening to guidance like this, you know? So I don't know. None of these readings touched on anything relationship, love, like none of this was about romance, which is very interesting. Maybe because Venus is in Aquarius, I feel like it's almost saying that like we need to be, you know, detached a little bit from that stuff right now. You know, we need to not be too obsessive right now with Venus and Aquarius. Give people space, give people freedom. You know, don't get too obsessed about your own love life. You know, I think Aquarius energy is actually very obsessed with love, to be honest. But they never want to show it. You know what I mean? They don't like to show it. So, but I do feel like with Venus and Aquarius, you know, it's a time of it's a time of friendship. You know what I mean? It's time to love your friends. You know. I don't know, you know, I feel like too, sometimes people lose their personalities when they get too involved with one person. It's like they become the relationship, you know, they lose, you know, their own personality. It's kind of how I feel, you know, and that's a crime to a Venus Aquarius, you know, that's a crime. I think we're going to be more focused on community, you know, we're going to be more focused on, you know, catering to groups. So, I'm wondering if I should ever aim the camera like this again, because I usually show my face in these. But, alright, we did all the elements. Amen. Amen. I've been having a lot of Mercury retrograde moments, to be honest. The first day of Mercury retrograde, my car battery died. I was on the highway and literally the little place where you fill up your gas tank, that was wide open. I had to pull over to the side to close it. I've been forgetting a lot of shit. I've been having a lot of anxiety. I think Mercury retrograde, it's a very anxious time. Should we pull a card for us Scorpio risings? What do you guys want to pull? Or what should we ask about? Just a card for Scorpio risings? I think that this year, you know, last year, 2022 and 2023 has been significant for Scorpio risings because it's like almost like they've been releasing the toxic parts of themselves with the South Node hitting their first house. You know, some of you guys could have been, you know, it's saying don't get too obsessive about your appearance. You know, that could have been a black hole for Scorpio risings, you know, paying too much attention to how they're perceived, you know. But with the North Node in their 7th house, I think Scorpio risings are, you know, a lot of you guys have met people, you know, a lot of you guys could be meeting people. People are coming into your lives, and these are going to be, you know, very long-lasting connections, you know. With the North Node in your 7th house, it's like make best friends right now, you know, seek partnership. I think that's what Scorpio risings are really doing right now. They're seeking partnership. Scorpio risings, we have 7 of Wands. So it's saying stand your ground. Don't back down. You know? You guys could have a lot of jealousy around you, a lot of envy, you know, a lot of people who want to take something from you, you know, steal things from you, steal your personality. You know, it's saying stand your ground, don't let people steal from you, set your boundaries, make things private, you know what I mean? Don't let people in all the time, you know, or don't just let anybody in, is kind of how I feel. Scorpio risings, you guys are very defensive. That's kind of how I feel with 7 of Wands. Like, you guys can be very defensive. Not that that's a good or bad thing, but Scorpio risings are always, like, obsessed with astrology. That's what I've noticed. Scorpio risings are obsessed with astrology is kind of how I feel. Look at that. 7 of Wands, 10 of Swords. It's because you guys been backstabbed. That's why you're so freaking guarded all the time. It's because you guys know what it's like to be, like, literally wanting to die is kind of how I feel. Like, I think every Scorpio rising has hit a point in their life where they wanted to die. Like, sorry that that's very, like, sorry that that's very, like, hard, that sounds very harsh and stuff, but that's how I really feel. Like, it's saying you guys don't want to hit rock bottom again. You know, it's saying don't let yourself hit rock bottom, you know. Don't let your guard down, you know, because I think Scorpios know what can happen, you know, and Scorpio's water, so Scorpio can be vulnerable, you know. Someone commented a target sign. That's how I kind of feel. Like, Scorpio risings, you guys feel targeted. You guys feel like a targeted individual. Yeah, you guys could have had a lot of jealousy and envy around you, just saying, you know. I don't know why that is, though. I don't know why that is. I'm trying to think of the astrology. I'm not really sure why Scorpio risings, you guys could be feeling like that. Should we do Gemini? Gemini rising? I did all the 4 elements, guys. We'll pull a card for Gemini. I'll say this. I think that with the, you know, the 6th house ruler for Gemini is Mars, and that's been retrograde. So a lot of Geminis, you know, you guys could be having certain health issues right now, or you guys could be reevaluating your health, your diet, you know, any goals you have in regards to your health. You know, you guys could feel a lack of energy. Certain things in your work life has slowed down. You guys could be, you know, thinking about past jobs you've had. You know, you guys could be rethinking whether or not you like the job you have right now. And I think a lot of Geminis, they've been, like, in the news lately. A lot of famous Geminis, because we've had Mars in Gemini for so long. But I do feel like, too, let me think, Mars also rules the 11th house for Gemini. So, you know, there's been a lot of revisiting old acquaintances, old groups, you know, the groups you've been a part of. You know, you guys could be, you know, reaching out to or hearing from people you used to hang out with, you know, friend groups you used to be associated with. You know, you guys could also be rethinking your place in the collective, rethinking how you come across on social media. You know, you guys could be rethinking whether or not you want to be on social media, whether or not you want to be, you know, out there for the collective. You know, the 11th house rules the internet. So Geminis, you guys could be rethinking, do I want to be on the internet that much? What do I want to do with, you know, my place online and in these niche communities? You know, I think that tarot and astrology is a very niche interest, you know. But Geminis, we also have 2 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like a lot of you guys, you know, you have met your person or you're gonna meet your person. That's what I get with 2 of Cups, you know. You guys could be making very good business partnerships with people this year, you know. You guys could be agreeing with people this year, you know. Exchanging something is kind of how I feel, Geminis. So I don't know. That's how I kind of felt without even pulling cards. Sometimes I want to know what I can do without the cards, because I know the tarot cards are like a crutch. Wheel of Fortune. Tarot cards are a crutch. That's kind of how I was feeling. Yeah. How are you doing with that puzzle, Eddie? Wheel of Fortune coming out. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's saying I need to talk about Jupiter signs. Maybe I need to make more videos on Jupiter. You know, some of you guys need to look into your Jupiter signs too. I'd buy a cardless reading from you. Yeah, I think I'll try that at one point, you know, or I'll just do it over live and see, you know, what I can, you know, just close my eyes and see how I feel, you know. I want to be so psychic I don't need the tarot cards, you know what I mean? That's the goal, you know. But I feel like I've always been into cards because I love colors, I love archetypes. Ever since I was little, like, I associated archetypes with things, so I think that, like, tarot and astrology came so easy to me. I grew up, you know, I went to a Sunday school, you know what I mean? So I already had there's some Christian symbolism in the tarot, so I think I already had a good understanding of that, you know. So I think that's why I've always been drawn to tarot and stuff. Thank you guys. I'm very slow. Like, I feel like my business, like my small business with this JoJo astrology account, has been very slow because I feel like literally the past few months, I feel like I've been resurrecting my soul. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but it's like almost just like, it's just, I've been more on I feel like an internal journey than, like, you know, really focusing on my, like, external purpose, which I feel like has to do with communicating and, like, being able to connect and go live and, you know, teach, you know, astrology, you know, and be involved in the spiritual community and all this stuff. And I just feel like I've been slow. I'm a Saturn Taurus, so I feel like it takes me longer to accomplish things than a lot of other people. You know, I could be stuck in a rut for months on end. Like, I've struggled with addictions. I've struggled leaving people for months and months and months. Like, it's very hard for me to make changes, you know. And I feel like you know, the end of 2021 and even in 2022, Saturn was square my Saturn. So I feel like I was very, like, overwhelmed. I was stressed, you know, I was depressed, I was down. So I just feel like I've been challenged, and I feel like I haven't been able to, like, be in my full potential at all. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm very slow compared to a lot of people, you know. I feel like it just takes me longer, you know, to grow stuff, to grow, you know, on social media. It takes me longer probably because I'm a Saturn Taurus, you know what I mean? Like, I'm, you know, I take my time with things, you know. I think the North Node in Taurus has been teaching people how to slow down, you know what I mean? How to, like, pace yourself, you know. There's no rush, you know. Don't feel rushed about anything, you know what I mean? I think that I felt so impatient to grow my account on here because I didn't have a job at the time. So my job was to get on online digital readings. But then I went out and I got 2 new jobs in September. So now I'm not dependent on this TikTok account, you know what I mean? So I can, you know, ease more so into making content than to rush it, you know what I mean? There's no point to rushing things. So, and I'm not financially dependent on my digital readings anymore. So it is, like, more comfort. I feel like I got lucky. I feel like I found where I fit in. You know, I work at a psychic shop, you know, and I have another more, you know, mundane job, but it's okay. You know, I feel like I'm going to be able to really focus on, like, putting out content this year, though, because I'm going to have Saturn in my 10th house, you know. So I think I'm really going to focus on, you know, establishing myself as a reader, you know, and trying to, you know, get people to really remember me and to interact with me. So that's my plan, guys. That is my plan. Look at that, Knight of Wands, taking action, getting back out there, getting the ball rolling is kind of how I feel. You know, I've been going to the gym a lot. I feel like most of my life is just driving, to be honest. I have ridiculously long commutes. You know, my knights are people who are always driving, who are always on the go. This is very Aries. My Knight of Rods is my Aries card. You know, a lot of you guys with Jupiter and Aries, it's like, it's time to go get it. It's time to just take action and not think about shit, you know? And also, I'm a Jupiter Aries. There we go. Wheel of Fortune's the Jupiter card, you know? Jupiter Aries, this is going to be a time where people get their energy back. You know what I mean? Jupiter Pisces, you know, you could have been prone to, you know, being a little lazy. You know, Jupiter and Pisces, you know, no offense to anyone who has that. It's a very lazy placement. You know, Jupiter and Aries, it's like, okay, now it's time to get going again. You know, it's time to get moving. You know, wake up with the sun and go to bed with the moon. You know, try to wake up early. Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Wands. It's like, wake up and get the adrenaline going. Wake up and do something right away. Wake up and make your bed so you know you've got at least one thing done. You know, accomplish shit. That's how kind of how I feel. You know what I mean? Go after stuff. You know, claim your place, claim your territory. You know. Be the one to reach out first is kind of how I feel. Be the one to initiate, you know, even if you crash and burn and even if you fail, you know, that's how I kind of feel. I don't know if I'm going to do individual readings, guys, because there's not enough people on here. But I could stay talking forever, guys. I'm a Gemini rising. Like, I could be live for hours if I wanted to. I just choose not to. But I can go on and on and on and on if I want to. Like, I don't run out of shit to talk about. I'm a North Node 3rd house. Like, I will vent about my own life. I will vent about everything. I will vent about... Literally, I can talk about anything. Like, I think that's my North Node 3rd house. Like, I can talk about anything for hours. I could talk about like very matrix things too. Like, I can talk about celebrity gossip if I want to. I don't prefer to talk about it, but like I'm so into YouTube drama. Like, I low-key used to be into that shit. Like, I was very into Shane Dawson. I was very into like Jenna Marbles, like all the big YouTubers. I was all in on the drama. Like, I could talk about it, you know. And now I prefer to talk more seriously. I'm a Mercury square Saturn, so I'm a very serious talker. You know what I mean? I have my Mercury sextile Pluto, so I feel like I'm always down to talk about stuff beneath the surface, and I'm always down to talk about, you know, conspiracy theories, mysteries. You know, I want to talk about the taboo things. You know, I'm okay talking about controversial things. You know, but I don't know, like. Is it a North Node 3rd house is intellectual and quick wit. What is North Node in 2nd or any other signs? North Node in 2nd house could be like a lot of you guys, it's saying speak your voice. The 2nd house rules, you know, vocalizing yourself. It rules singers. You know, a lot of North Node in the 2nd house, you know, you guys are meant to sing. Even if you're not a good singer, sing to yourself. You know what I mean? That's the 2nd house. That's Taurus energy, you know? That's Taurus energy right there. You know, North Node 2nd house is like, make your own money, you know, start your own business, live simple, you know what I mean? Just get your survival needs figured out, you know? Don't share too much of yourself, you know? Don't share too much of your body and shit like that. North Node 2nd house is like, have a good, you know, if you're into that, stay sexually active because, you know, you want to feel good about your body, you know, your self-esteem. All that stuff is tied to your money, you know what I mean? Is very tied to your self-esteem. It's like, cater to those things, you know? Do things that make you feel good. You know, North Node 2nd house to me too would be, you know, drink a lot of tea, I would say, because there is a lot of focus on your throat chakra with North Node in the 2nd house, you know? I feel like if you have Taurus placements, you know, you're meant to sing. You know, even if you're not going to be a professional singer and you don't want to be heard by people, you have to be able to sing and like release that pent up energy in the throat. Because I think a lot of Taurus placements, a lot of second house placements, when they have panic attacks, they feel like their throat is closing up. You know what I mean? Because they either don't vocalize themselves all the time or they don't sing. You know what I mean? I think with my Saturn Taurus, it's like when I have panic attacks, I feel like my throat is closing up. Like all the energy is right here in my throat area. You know, so stuff that's very good for that is being able to talk, to vent, you know, to sing, to even do mantras. Like, I'm not super into mantras and stuff, but that could really help people who have a lot of Taurus or a lot of second house. You know, you want to do those things, you know, really focus on the throat area, you know, really chew your food slowly too. You know what I mean? That's important for Taurus placements. Think of a cow. A cow chews its food so slowly, you know what I mean? Because if you just scarf things down, Knight of Wands, you know, Knight of Wands is someone who would just get fast food and scarf it down very quickly. You know how they call it muck? You know, Knight of Wands will muck, you know what I mean? And Taurus is meant to, you know, enjoy the food, you know what I mean? Moo, exactly. Chew it very slowly, you know? We don't want anyone choking here. But yeah, that's what I think in North Node in the second house. Make your own money is kind of how I feel. These are the crystals I have with me for this reading. I have, I forget what this is, but I have 2 hematite. This is my hematite. This is very good for grounding. It's very good for grounding. This is an important year for grounding because it's a 7 in numerology. So like I said, it's a very spiritual year, a very isolated year, a year for loners and a year for introverts, but it also can have a very ungroundedness to it. So, you know, hematite could be a good crystal this year for people. I'm a 7 myself, you know, I'm already ungrounded, so I try to work with hematite. I have a hematite necklace on right now. It has a little owl on it too. Owls are very solitary animals. That's very 7, you know. You want to work with hematite. When I first heard Moo by Doja Cat, I literally laughed my ass off because I'm like, this is the most Taurus shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Shout out Doja Cat. Doja Cat makes me think of 2018. Like, she embodies 2018 to me. And the other day I heard a reader say that, like, it was either yesterday or the day before that, it felt like a day in 2018. Like, I don't know. And, you know, Uranus ingressed into Taurus in 2018, so that could be a message about that, too, you know. I'm good. How are you? How are you guys? Where are you guys from? I think I might change the music. It's very soft music, but I had actual music playing. This is what's playing right now. It's called Etheric AI Interference Removal. So it's sound healing meant to kind of restore you from, you know, spending too much time looking at screens, looking at your phone, you know. With Pluto and Aquarius, I think that will be an important thing, you know, having to, you know, even if you guys want to get like this, what I'm planning to do is getting this little thing to cover the camera on my phone. You know what I mean? Because I really do believe that we're being watched, you know? So it's important to, you know... Thanks, Eddie. My uncle in the other room said he agreed. I think that I want to get like something to just cover up my camera. You know what I mean? Just basic things like that, you know? Because they can even keep track on, like, what you're buying, you know what I mean? If they feel like you're buying too much of one thing, you know, What's that? Cash will be gone in 5 years. Yeah, I do feel like people are going to be, yeah, definitely, you know. What I really think they're going to do is we're going to have, like, you know how they scan, there's like a code nowadays where you just scan it to pay for things. I think they're gonna get that so that we can put it on our arm or on our hand, and so we can literally scan with our bodies. I think they're gonna do that. I would literally think they're gonna scan us with our bodies. Like, that's how we're gonna use money. You know what I mean? Pluto and Aquarius will be a lot about, you know, I think it will be about resources. Tap pay, exactly. That's what I think Pluto and Aquarius will be, tap pay. Something like that. Like, money is not gonna be the same. That's scary to some people. I think that, you know, grew up back in the day, you know, that's very unnormal to them, you know. I literally don't pay with cash, guys. Like, I only pay with yeah, a lot of people only pay with cash if they're like that, but some people like, I only pay with my debit card. Like, I don't even, because it's just easier for me, you know. I don't even pay like normally. That's literally ID cards, but on skin. But you're talking about, that's how I think they're gonna have, like, they can ID us from our hand, from our skin, like on our bodies. You know what I mean? Pluto and Aquarius is almost being like, our bodies will become antennas that they can track. You know what I mean? That's how I kind of think it's gonna be, like, because our phones already listen to us. You know, my phone knows when someone enters my house. It's very weird. My phone knows everything. I don't know. We should pull a card on that. I don't know. Let's see if the cards will confirm this. But I don't know. That's something, yeah, a lot of you guys, you know, you don't know how, especially because when Pluto goes into Aquarius, eventually we'll have Uranus and Gemini. And, you know, Gemini rules hackers. You know what I mean? So I think with, you know, Pluto and Aquarius and Uranus, which will go into Gemini, it's very important that we either, you know, don't add people on apps that you don't know who they are, you know, because you don't know who can hack into your shit. You know, you may want to delete a lot of things, delete conversations, you know, because, you know, stuff is going to become easier to hack into as the years go on. You know what I mean? With Pluto and Aquarius, there's a lot of people who are probably going to be able to be charged with crimes because they're, you know, it's going to be easier to access things on people's internet, you know what I mean? And people's internet browsers, all of that shit, you know? So obviously, if you're not a criminal, you don't really have to worry about it. But what it's saying is, like, you got to be careful with what you have on your phone. You don't know how easy it is for people to hack into shit, especially with Uranus and Gemini. There will probably be a lot of internet hackers, you know? So that's how I kind of feel. And it's and the numerology for this year is number 7, which rules deception. You know what I mean? It rules, you know, I almost feel like it could rule over, like, blackmail and shit like that. You know, 7's a very tricky number, you know? It's a number of illusion, too. So, I don't know, there could be something important about Hollywood, too, with this year being ruled by 7. Could be, like, you know, I almost just feel like a lot of Hollywood scandal or a lot of stuff coming up about Hollywood. Look at that, 5 of Wands. Yeah, that's conflict right off the bat. Yeah, so I think I'm, you know, I think that, yeah, you know, there could be a lot of chaos that comes out of, you know, people being able to hack into people's data, you know. That can cause a lot of chaos, you know. I'm gonna change the music. This is boring me. Okay, hold on, let me read this. We are all channels and antennas to the God source, but the humans are to trigger cloud us, maybe to make us forget who we are and our power. I'm not sure I understand that completely. I know there's such thing as an AI cloud. I don't know if I know about it enough to talk about it, but I have been looking a lot into AI interference and stuff like that, you know. Me and my Aquarius friend were talking about aliens the other day, and we were talking about how we think aliens are synthetic and how they're created by the government and stuff. And she said that a lot of these ETs, which, by the way, they're not real, they're created by the government, they know how to work with, like, the wavelength of technology, like your laptop, you know what I mean? A lot of people, when they have these UFO experiences, their stuff with their technology starts going wrong, you know what I mean? The lights can get messed up and stuff like that. There's something about, you know, alien abductions can feel very similar to like a dream, you know what I mean? Because they're able to interfere with some kind of like wavelength. Yeah, these questions are free. I have never had an alien experience, to be honest. My dad has seen a UFO. I've never had an experience. I've seen I've seen weird orbs in the sky, but I've never nothing like, I've never been abducted, and I've never like for sure seen a UFO. I've seen weird lights though. So my dad has seen one though. My dad is a moon Aquarius too. He's seen them. I've never seen it though. I'm wondering. I don't know though. Come smeek with me. What does that mean? So Daniela will meet and I don't know how to say that name. Reconcile, and if so, when? I want to answer your question, but I'm very into this conversation right now. Are aliens a lower vibration if it's Earth-based, but it's quick and faster since portal travel? I think aliens could be... I do think aliens are low vibration, but they're not. They're AI. They're not like actual, you know, they don't have spirit, you know what I mean? They're technology, you know? So that's why I think they're low vibration. I also think that, you know, the gray aliens that people see are, you know, they're designed to look like the actual grays, and I feel like actual gray aliens exist, but I don't think that they have visited Earth. I think that, you know, these gray aliens that people see have been created by the government, and, you know, they're modeled after the gray aliens, you know what I mean? But they're not real, you know? Yeah, I agree. I don't think we can see real aliens either. I think real aliens exist on other dimensions, so they're not 3D beings. You know what I mean? That's why me and my Aquarius friend were talking about how we think these alien abductions are, you know, these aliens are synthetic, you know? So thank you. It's my Hocus Pocus sweatshirt. My little Hocus Pocus sweatshirt. Yeah, no spirit, no home. Honestly, I really believe that. I don't think that there's, you know, I don't think that these aliens have actual consciousness. It's AI consciousness is what it is, you know. The cat is so cute. You know what's funny, guys? I was never too big into Hocus Pocus, but I watched it for the first time this year. Like, not even kidding. I watched it for the first time this year. But yeah, I want to try to go to Salem maybe, or in 2023. Like, I think I'm gonna commit to actually going to Salem on Halloween this year, but planning it out so it's not chaotic, you know, because I only live like an hour away from Salem. So cats are beautiful, aren't they? I want a black cat. I would love a black cat. I don't know, guys. Two of Wands. This to me is making observations. I think that this is what we're doing right now. This is like making political observations, making observations about the world, about religion, you know, about spirituality. So I have stray cats that visit. Cats are interesting animals because I've heard that they're like their own, like say, you know, a lot of animals, their consciousness works in like a pack mentality. So you know how birds and stuff, like they'll all fly in the same direction at the same time and stuff like that. It's because they're almost like a collective consciousness in some way. And a lot of animals can be like that, and when they pass on, they probably go back to like the collective archetype of that animal, because they're individual, like they're individual creatures in this dimension, but they could just be one collective consciousness. But a lot of animals who, you know, will reincarnate into an actual human, you know, they're their own separate thing, you know. And I feel like what I've read is a lot of cats, you know, they're their own spirit, you know, they don't have pack mentality, you know. So, you know, cats could very easily, you know, reincarnate into a possible human body, you know what I mean? And a lot of dogs, you know, if they have pack mentality, they could be a part of a collective consciousness. But, you know, if you have a dog that, you know, has a very strong personality of its own, you know what I mean? Like cats, you know, they have a very strong personality of its own. They do their own thing, you know what I mean? That's very much could be, you know, an animal that could come back as a human, you know? That's my theory on it. So bees, yeah, just like bees, it's an ecosystem where everyone has a role to play. Exactly. And it doesn't even have to be said. It's like literally their animals could just be like very much so like one spirit, but they're all individual in this realm, you know what I mean? But I think cats in particular are their own thing, you know what I mean? They're their own spirits, just like humans, you know? They don't have that pack mentality. So that's what makes cats, I think, so unique. And cats are very in tune with your energy. That's what makes cats very special, where dogs are very much so like, dogs know you by your scent and stuff like that, but cats know you by your energy is kind of what I've looked into. Cats know a lot about vibrations, you know, the purr that cats purr, and that's a natural, that's kind of like a natural healing vibration. So, but yeah, bees are definitely like its own, like bees are an ecosystem. I want a cat now. Yeah, cats will like, yeah, cats also know when you're under the influence. Like I feel like cats can tell like when you're under the influence in any way, shape, or form. Like, they'll look at you weird. Cats know you by your energy. It's so interesting. They're very psychic. That's true. Aware and silent. It's a nice spirit animal. I feel seen by them. I've also seen things that said, you know, cats were worshipped in ancient Egypt, so that's why they kind of expect special treatment sometimes. Like, cats have a very like regalness to them, you know. That's why if you have Leo placements, you know, it's important to stretch your body, you know. Cats, don't have to learn how to, you know, do yoga. You know, cats do their own yoga in a way, you know, they stretch, you know. That's why it's important for Leo placements to stretch. Yeah, dogs are interesting too. I think that some dogs are, like I said, an individual spirit, and those are probably dogs that will come back as a human. But a lot of dogs, you know, they could be one collective consciousness, just like a lot of other animals. So, you know, especially dogs who are, you know, are very, dogs came from wolves. I'm pretty sure the ancestors of dogs were wolves, you know what I mean? And wolves work in packs. So, dogs also don't like the moon. You know what I mean? When we think of wolves, the wolves howl at the moon. It's to scare away the moon. That's what they're actually doing. So, you know, dogs are very sensitive to energy too. Like, they can see ghosts and all these other things, and that's why they don't like the moon, you know, because the moon opens up portals to things. So, you know, that's where I think the whole concept of the wolf howling at the moon comes from, you know, because the moon's not natural from what I've looked into. Like the ancients, there's a lot of things that say the ancients remember a time where there was no moon, you know. There was no moon at one point. So, dogs are playful, aggressive, and quick-minded. It's not too deep, which is nice to be around. Yeah, that's true. Dogs are very playful. Dogs are very connected. If you're an 8th houser, you could connect to dogs, or if you have Scorpio energy, you could really connect to dogs because for one, Hecate, I think that's how you say her name, Hecate, she if you work with her, she's a deity. She helps protect dogs. So, you know, if you work with Hecate or whatever, I don't know how to say her name. She's very picky, by the way. She can help protect your pets, especially your dogs and stuff. But, you know, dogs also guarded the underworld. So that's why they're connected to Scorpio and they're connected to the 8th house. So, you know, if you have Venus in the 8th house, you probably love dogs. You know what I mean? Because dogs, you know, guard the underworld. So... but that's why dogs can also have a very bad reputation. Like dogs, a lot of people think dogs, you know, well, for one, dog lovers are a cult, let's be honest. But I think that with dogs, it's very easy to give them a bad reputation because they have that connection to Hades and they have that connection to the underworld and to hell, you know, hell. So, but think about it, when you, like, if you've ever worked at, like, a dog kennel or something like that, like, it sounds like the pits of hell, with all the dogs in cages and everything, and they're barking. It sounds like the literal pits of hell, you know what I mean? So I do think of dogs as very Plutonian. I think of them as, like, very 8th house. Have you ever heard anything about Mat, the Egyptian goddess? I once told you I felt like her energy. I've never heard of that. I don't know anything really about Egyptian gods and goddesses. I've never really looked into them. So I only really know the Greek and the Roman gods and goddesses. So I'm pretty sure the Egyptians were very into worshiping the sun god. I forget what they called him though. The Egyptians are very into the sun gods, just like the Mayans and Aztecs. Like, they were into sun worship. So I don't know. I was thinking about the Aztecs and Mayans, and I got 10 of Swords. I know they used to literally do human sacrifice, so that's pretty fucked up. It's a very African-based history. It's so interesting. Their rituals are still used today, like holidays. I bet. I feel like every holiday nowadays just traces back to an ancient holiday. Like, Christmas is just Saturnalia. So Christmas is basically the Roman holiday. It's a pagan holiday, and people don't realize what it actually is. But it's Saturnalia. So basically Christmas is Saturn worship. So the god of the Old Testament is probably Kronos or Saturn. So the god of the Old Testament, the god of the New Testament, it's all the same deity. It's all Saturn. That's what they're worshiping. That's why the black cube that the people in Islamic religion circle around, that's also Saturn worship as well. It all goes back to the one thing, Allah, Yaldabaoth, Jehovah. They're all the same entity. It's all Saturn, or it's all the demiurge is what it is. So, you know, so sometimes I don't really know what sun worship is. Like, I'm looking into that to really figure out what that is, because I know a lot of ancient cultures worshipped the sun, you know what I mean? And for some reason, it's been redirected to Saturn, you know? So I'm not really sure why they worship Saturn, but I know it's not good. I don't know if I agree with it. You know, by tradition and not sharing the full truth, that's what I'm observing. Exactly. I don't know. I kind of think, I don't know, you know, think about how much Christmas has been sold to us in every way, shape, and form, you know. Interesting. What's Saturn's god to you? If you really look deep into it, which I really took the time to do though, I do believe that full-heartedly, that the god of the Old Testament is Saturn, you know. That's why I don't but I don't know. I just started looking into it this year. Like, I think I was also talking to someone about religion the other day, and I said, I feel like if I'm closest to anything, I think I'm like the most similar to a Gnostic, but I don't really know. Because Gnostic is really more about, like, esoteric things. You know what I mean? It's not really culty like these other religions. You know, Gnostic beliefs are very based on mysticism and very based on esoteric thinking. So that's why I think I resonate a lot with, like, Gnosticism. But Gnostics are very similar to Christians too, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, you never really know with people, you know. I've always liked Rudolf Steiner's work too, but he is very, like, into, you know, he's very into Jesus and stuff like that. Did you ever change the music? I didn't. Should I? I'm gonna change it. We need something better. I was listening to the Marias, so I have Sufjan Stevens on here.
Chasing that A and want to save time on proofreading? Grammarly makes editing one click simpler.
But I don't know. Talking about religion can be very confusing. Look at that, the sun on the bottom.
To help you articulate your ideas clearly.
You know what's interesting too? People say that, you know, Christ is like the sun. You know what I mean? Christ is the sun. But actually, from what I've looked into, Christ actually is more so tells the story of Venus, you know. I forget what her name is, but I was listening to this one woman talk about it, about how when they took Jesus off the cross and everything, they put him in a cave first before he was able to resurrect. And basically it was basically a story telling the cycle of Venus. You know, Venus goes down first before she comes up. Just like in these mythologies, Persephone goes down and then she comes up for the spring. You know, Alice in Wonderland, she goes down the rabbit hole and then she comes back up. That's Venus. And basically it's the same thing with Jesus. When they took Jesus off the cross, he went underground before he came back up. So, like, I don't know, like, the Bible has a lot of, like, esoteric knowledge in it too. The thing is, though, the Bible is a tool of patriarchy, and it's also, I honestly just feel like it's complete archon control and manipulation. So, if we want to talk about Daddy Saturn and his archons, I think really the Bible works for them. So, the rising or the phoenix storyline, yes, that's how I get. I feel like Jesus' story is just the rising of the phoenix. Is kind of what it is, and that's why Jesus is actually more the story of Venus. Is what a lot of people, like, I even thought that at one point, that Leo is more connected to Christ, or Leo is Christ consciousness because it's the sun, but it's actually Libra, Taurus, and Pisces, because Jesus follows the story of Venus in reality, is what I learned. In Venus kind of teaches us how to sorry guys, an ad's playing. Venus kind of teaches us how to escape the reincarnation cycle. So that's what Venus is about. You know, Venus is anti the demiurge, or anti-Saturn. So when you think about it, you know, Venus would probably hate the Bible, you know. The Bible is like a calculator. Use it to help you out, but not pray to it. Well, I don't know. Isn't it interesting, though, that how most people who are into the Bible are people who are poor? You know, it's usually, you know, people who are in poverty, you know. Especially in America, there's a big difference where, you know, people in the South, where they have more poverty, tend to be more into the Bible. I also heard it's Aquarius, since he was the bringer of knowledge and water. I've heard that too, but I think that, I'm not really sure, though. I think Jesus more so said follow the water bearer, so he was more so saying, like, follow the people who will take us into the age of Aquarius, you know what I mean? Because we're still in Kali Yuga, which is it's called the Iron Age. That's what Kali Yuga is, and it's when we lose a lot of knowledge, so we don't really know what our connection is to the solar system. We don't really know what religion is and all this stuff. That's called a yuga. We're in a very dense part of our evolution as humans. So, you know, we're not really multidimensional. You know what I mean? We have to eat, we have to feed ourselves, we have these physical bodies, you know, everything's very physical. You know what I mean? Because we're in Kali Yuga. We're still in this very dense part of our evolution. That's kind of how I feel. Look at that, the moon. There's still so much we're in the dark about. That's how I kind of feel. That's what the moon is saying. There's so much we're in the dark about. You know, this is my Pisces card, you know, so this is about the age of Pisces, you know. That's what we're leaving, you know. I think that's what Christ signified, you know, more so the age of Pisces, the age of idol worship, you know. The age where a lot of people were still superstitious, even though there were all these religions, you know, these mainstream religions. So I also do believe that the moon is a satellite. So what do you think are the bringers of the age of Aquarius? I think it could be a lot of different people. I think J. Cole could be an age of Aquarius kind of guy. Let me think. I don't know why he came off right up the bat. I think Logic, these are rappers. I don't know why I'm thinking about singers. J. Cole, Logic, I think these are very age of Aquarius, like, artists. There's a lot of them right now, too. I think Little Sims could be one of them. Because the universe, anyone with an Aquarius MC, too, they're bringing in age of Aquarius, too. So, because the universe will push for their voice to be heard. Exactly. That's why I do think that it's, you know, especially with Pluto going into Aquarius, a lot of Aquarian artists are going to be rising to the top. So, that's how I feel. Lana and Billy, too. That's true. I think that Billy is more of a healer. Like, I think that, and you know, Billy's a moon Aquarius, so she definitely could be bringing in age of Aquarius. But I think that Billie Eilish is more of just like a healer with her voice and with her singing, you know. I think that she really, like, connects with people who could be insecure and stuff. Or, you know, I don't know. Billie Eilish, I think, really connects with broken people, you know. She has that vibe to her. So, because Billie Eilish has been depressed, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about Billie Eilish, you know. But she definitely could be bringing an age of Aquarius, is how I feel. I'm definitely down to hang out later. Like that Lana wouldn't have worked or got famous if her message or Venusian female love. Yeah, Lana also has a very, I think, specific message. Like, Lana has either very hidden messages in her music, or she's like, I'm not really sure, but I've heard that Lana, like, connects with chosen ones and shit like that, like people who have souls and stuff. Like, I think Lana is, like, I don't know, I've heard Lana has a lot of hidden messages in her music. I kind of believe that about her. So Healers said she's a healer of relatability for the kids and the younger generations. For Billy, that's how I kind of feel like, I kind of feel like Billy's like that. Like, she's a healer for younger generations, you know? And Billy's a Saturn Gemini. I just realized that. Billy's a Saturn Gemini. So, she's definitely, like, you know, she's an authority for younger kids. You know, we look at her as almost like a god. You know what I mean? So, anyways, guys, I'm going to end this live. But I hope you guys liked it. Not sure if this will go anywhere, but I think I'm going to try to do more lives like this where I can angle the camera like this and read. So I'm not, you know, just looking at my face in the camera. But I feel like Lana's job was remembering the true women and not like the masculine girl boss vibe. Yeah, like Lana definitely has very divine feminine energy, which I kind of feel like is what you're talking about. But Very true, very true. I'm pretty sure Mac Miller, too, he put out the album The Divine Feminine, too. I think it was right around 2018, which is when we had Uranus and Taurus, which represents the Divine Feminine, right? And we had that album drop. So, but bye, guys.